with 3 DC animated movies.
Yes.
Which one would you like to start with, sir?
Let's start
Because
with...
they are all very different.
Let's start with Soul of the Dragon.
Soul of the Dragon. That is the most recent one I watched.
Because that was the one that I found to be the low man on the rope. I was not impressed with Soul of the Dragon. I wasn't unimpressed with Soul of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I didn't sit there being like, ugh.
Well, it wasn't a Batman movie.
No, it really wasn't. It was a Bruce Wayne movie.
It was a Bruce Wayne / rip-off Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah, it was very much a Bruce Lee movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the tone. How it was like a 70s to 80s because they had the mobile phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was in the 80s, but it was playing off like it was the 70s. So I wasn't quite sure on the decade.
It was a super 70s vibe.
Yeah. Because it's very much like the blaxploitation kung fu movies with Jim Kelly. And then Enter the Dragon and all those, which I know those were late 70s. That's the tone I got, but then the mobile phone threw me off. I'm like, it's not in the 70s?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I had a few issues with it. Overall, I found it to be pretty good.
It was enjoyable.
It was pretty good. I definitely got to the end and thought, there's another 20 minutes to this movie. Isn't there?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be another 20 minutes here.
The ending was strange.
Very strange. It ends with this big fight that you would normally expect, and then... We're in spoiler territory.
Yeah.
You get one of those, the master is possessed by the root of all evil. And now the disciples have to defeat the master. Mm-hmm. And they do it. And it's this big old fight scene. And then the root of all evil goes back into its portal. And Batman has to make a sacrifice in order to close the portal. So he walks in. And then apparently all 4 of the other disciples also walk in. And then the movie ends.
Yeah. With what seems like a giant creature coming towards them. You don't see what it is.
Yeah.
And then they get in their fight stance and it ends.
And then it ends. And you're just like, what?
But in reality, I wish they wouldn't have called this Batman. Because if you think about it, if you take out Bruce Wayne, and you take out Batman, it really doesn't change the movie.
No, it totally
Because even
doesn't.
Bruce Wayne... It's just a tertiary way to get the Batman costume in there.
And they do this interesting thing. I'll give him credit. It is interesting. Where Bruce Wayne is, a much more affable individual.
Yes.
He's much less of a douchebag. He's kind of friendly and enjoyable to be around. And then when he becomes the Batman, he just like fucking destroys things.
Yeah.
And it's like a coin flip. I found that to be interesting. It's not that it's different from most Batman. I guess it's just the way that he is unstoppable when he's Batman. That was the part that I found interesting, was like all of a sudden they'll go from this fight that they're really barely hanging on in to, oh, he's in the Batman costume, so now he destroys everybody. Yeah. And you're just like, wait.
I don't
know. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I would put it at a solid C.
The thing I give it is the voice acting.
The voice acting is very
solid
good.
Voice acting.
Yes.
Really good. I honestly was going to say C as well. Mm-hmm. Because even though this was my least favorite also, I didn't love any of the 3.
Really?
I didn't love them.
I think I loved Injustice.
I liked it a lot. But I'll tell you my problem with Injustice. Because that's both of our number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we need to work our way up. Now that we know what order.
Where we're in the base, yeah.
So, number 2. So we both gave a C to Batman, Soul of the Dragon. Mm-hmm. See it. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's got a different tone from any animated movie you probably see because of the 70s vibe.
The fact that it is so close to a blaxploitation film and its tone and style really sets it apart in that way.
Yeah.
That is really cool, and I like that part of it.
And you had Dolomite playing the voice of the Jim Kelly ripoff character. Michael Jai White, which...
Yeah, the Bronze Tiger.
Very unmistakable voice on that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool, and I don't know. I wanted more out of Bronze Tiger, too. I just wanted more out of everything. Yeah. At the end of the day, you had, like, Shiva goes from this, she's the great Lady Shiva, who is the master's right hand, to this crime boss, and we get no other information about that. Yeah. And I'm just like, I would like a little more information about that, please. Thank you. That would be very good. But
the part that threw me off though was the Master's voice was James Hong, who also does the voice of the in Kung Fu Panda the
the
father.
turtle. Yeah.
What kind of
the goose? Yes,
the goose that sells the dumplings.
Yes,
it's the same voice. So when he was talking, I just saw the goose making dumplings all the time.
Yes.
But then he was in. Wasn't he in
he was
Big
in
Trouble in Little China?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Who was he in?
He was the big bad. He was. Yeah, I can't remember his name at the moment. Oh God, it's gonna drive me crazy. What's his name? Lopan.
Lopan. Yep, David Lopan. Lopan. Yeah, that's right. Ah, God, because he was so young when that came out.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
And he was in like big old age makeup at the time.
Next time we do a review, I'm going to do a review of that because I haven't seen that in a very long time, and I absolutely love that movie.
It's so good.
Wow, that was another tangent. Okay, so we both give that a C. We need to move on to Justice League. Justice Society of America, World War II.
World War II. I agree. It's a mouthful of a title.
Yeah. You already know one of my problems with it is it's very reminiscent of Flashpoint.
It is. I can agree with that.
A little overly.
Yeah.
Especially where they, even though he not only goes back in time, but he goes to a different Earth.
That was the part I actually really liked about it.
I liked it, but it was also reminiscent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I definitely get it, and it had that kind of feel of, oh, is this where the new animated Justice League movies are going to pick up?
Yeah.
Is they're going to form a society and it's going to be in this animated style, which I'll be totally cool with.
I
like the
animation
style.
Was very good.
The animation is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very interesting because, like, he doesn't know who Wonder Woman is. That's bonkers to me.
Yeah.
Like, even in his own universe, he doesn't know who Wonder Woman is. That's crazy pants. So I'm super curious about if anything else happens from here. I don't know if they will go anywhere else from here. I'd love to see it if they decide to, because I like this Barry. I almost called him Barry White. I like this Barry Allen.
Barry White's pretty great too.
Yeah, I like this Barry Allen. I like this Superman. The whole Shakespeare thing was interesting, but I like the Superman that was back in the home universe as well.
Mm.
All of it was really cool. I wanted more out of Our Man. I wanted more out of some of the other tertiary characters. But I liked Hawkman. I like how they did Hawkman. I like that he was actually this Egyptian guy, and they got an Arabic
actual
voice
Egyptian
actor.
Voice actor, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, like, I like all these touches were really good.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? The other thing that I loved was that Barry does math at hyper speed, and you believe it. Like, when he's like, oh, the trajectory of that is blah, blah, blah. At first, I was like, huh? What? That's stupid. And then I stopped and I thought about it, and I was like, no. Barry is really smart, and he can think at super speed. So he can literally do the math in a second and be like, oh, shit, I got to go from here to there, and he's not going to make it. Yeah. There's no way he's going to fly there in time. I got to do this. And just like, it was so fascinating to see all these different things and what elements of the story were there. The Speed Force is there, but only Jay Garrick knows about the Speed Force. Yes. Barry Allen doesn't know about the Speed Force.
They lose a little bit of their power because they're feeding off it simultaneously. Yeah. Which is awesome.
Yeah. And it was just like all these little twists and turns that I really, really liked. I ended up really enjoying all of it. I think that the whole Aquaman thing, I think, was the one part that I found to be kind of like...
It's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah. That was like the only part that I was kind of meh on. Because they've done that in like 3 movies now. And it's just getting a little bit like... It's like how Cyborg has to be in everything. At some point, you're kind of just like, but maybe Cyborg doesn't have to be in Doom Patrol. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe we can do Doom Patrol without Cyborg because he's not really part of that. He doesn't need to be here. And it's the same with this. It's just like maybe Aquaman doesn't need to be the one that invades. Yeah. Because that has happened twice. And once already he has to fight Wonder Woman as part of the invasion. Yeah. So like... Let's try
Once again, Flashpoint animated. It's exactly. Like they stole too much from it.
Yeah, it did sheer a little too close.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be very different in other ways. I didn't mind that there were two Flashes. I like that he realizes he's on another Earth.
Yeah.
Because Superman exists and is an orphan in this
Which
universe.
is so awesome.
That was rad as hell.
So awesome.
That was rad as hell. I love that we got not one but two very different iterations of Superman.
Yes.
In this.
In both. And then the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have in this one you have an orphan Superman.
Yep.
And in the next one you have one that I've never seen before, which is a Superman where Jonathan Kent is still alive and Martha's dead.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
No, I've never seen that.
And I was just like, whoa,
all right,
dude.
so we're about to go off on our tangent into our favorite Injustice. What do you give Justice Society?
I'd give it like a solid B+. I think that while there were elements of it that I found frustrating in terms of like a little rehashy, man, those kaiju were really cool.
They were cool.
And watching Black Canary scream blast that one shark manta ray, man, that was cool.
That was really cool.
So like I'll give them that, but I do agree with you. There were a few too many moments that eschewed close to Flashpoint a little too
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a solid B.
All right.
I will say it has my favorite voice acting and script out of the three.
I love Stanikatic.
Oh, he's awesome. And then even Matt Bomer as the Flash.
Oh, Matt Bomer as the Flash was also great.
Like, he's done it so many times now that's just the voice.
Yeah.
Like, when I hear that voice, I'm like, oh, that's Barry Allen. That's
Yeah.
Flash. So there's your ratings, B+ and a B, and then it rolls into our favorite one, Injustice.
Yes.
Which is based on a graphic novel, then they made a video game, and now they're making the movie version of it.
Yes.
And it is both our favorites.
Yes, by far.
By far. I have to be honest, though. Other than Plastic Man, who is beautifully played by Oliver Hudson, I was kind of disappointed in the voice acting.
Yeah, the voice acting wasn't amazing.
No.
I was not struck by anything going on here. There was some stuff that I found good. Zach Callison is one of my favorites, so seeing him here was funny as Damian, because he plays Steven Universe. I don't know if you've seen this or been introduced to it. You might be eventually, now that you have a young daughter growing up. But Steven Universe is this great show about this kid who's the reincarnation of an alien queen, and he has a lot of things that he has to learn how to take care of. And he's very optimistic and full of love and wants to talk about problems instead of fighting.
Is that an Adult Swim show?
No, Steven Universe was a Cartoon Network show. But the fact that he plays Damian is very funny to me. But yeah, I would agree. I also love Yuri Lowenthal, so seeing him in anything, I always mix up his voice with Josh Keaton, and it's because they're both Spider-Man. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, I did like this.
No, typically I like the work most of these actors do, but it just seemed, I don't know, it just seemed off.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just the script wasn't the best, but, you know, everything just seemed off.
No, and I also noticed that they didn't have their usual voice director for this one.
Yeah.
They usually have this lady, give me 1 second and I'll find her name.
The one thing that intrigued me, I don't want to say I loved it, but it was different, and so it intrigued me, which was the Joker, who Kevin Pollak plays.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And it was definitely a different take. It was like a darker version of Mark Hamill's Joker, where it had a little more of a gruff tone to his voice, but it was still kind of that playful. And I was kind of blown away, and I think I like it more than I should because it was Kevin Pollak doing it, and I'm a huge Kevin Pollak fan. But yeah, so like I said, I think that's my only thing I was not a fan of in this movie was the voice acting. Because I did thoroughly enjoy the story. It has been a very long time since I read that graphic novel, and I have not played the video game before because I'm not into fighting games.
No, me neither, but this made me want to buy it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, at least try it.
This made me want to go and see if it's like $5 or something on digital.
Oh, it's got to be.
Right?
It can't be more than
I saw it at Best Buy for $20, and I was like, not a chance.
No.
But if it's $5, I would buy it, especially the one that has the Ninja Turtles in it. I'd buy that one. I'm terrible at fighting games, and I hate Mortal Kombat because it's way too hard.
Yeah.
But I will play this. I can't find her name, and I'm so angry because she's so amazing. I'm gonna find it afterwards, and I'll edit it in right here. Andrea Romano.
You gotta do it in a very creepy voice.
So that's her name, and she's great, and I love her. She's so fantastic, and if you look, she's done like all of the great DC animated movies, like all of them. She was the voice director for them, and the voice director on Injustice was a different person. I think that has the effect that you're talking about, where it just doesn't necessarily work as well. Because I agree, there was something about some of the voice acting where even things like I'm not a giant Anson Mount fan. I think he's fine, but his Batman wasn't as good as someone like who played Batman in all the other DC Universe movies. It was Jason O'Mara. So Jason O'Mara plays him in all the other ones, and I don't know him at all, but like he really nails that role. And here, Anson Mount was fine. At best, I would say fine. I did like that he is insistent on talking through all their problems. Like the way he solves the issue is to just keep on bringing people from other universes to talk to Superman and convince him that this isn't the way to go. And man, that was so good. I just really enjoyed that as a finale where like he's fighting everybody at that point, and it's just like everything comes to a stop, and he literally asks Batman, "What are you gonna do? Talk me out of it?" And it's like, yeah, that's the entire plan. That's 1,000,000% of the plan. I also love Deadwing just because I love the idea of taking Deadman and Nightwing and combining them.
Yeah, that was kind of awesome.
That was pretty rad. I like that.
And the only negative is it seems like they were going to do something more with that character. So I'm wondering if they'll do some kind of was it Justice League Dark?
Yeah.
Where they have
Boston Brand, the original Deadman.
Constantine.
Yeah, Constantine. And
yeah. So it's like, I'm wondering if they're going to roll it into one of those, because it'd be a shame to waste that character. Because after he becomes Deadwing, it's like they didn't really use him that much. I mean, not a ton. I mean, it would seem like a waste to me.
Yeah, it was a very cool idea that I want to see them do more with. Yeah. But like everything about this, I really liked. I like Damian. I like the way that Damian's character is portrayed. It had big Civil War vibes. I'm just realizing this now. It had big Civil War vibes where you have that moment where the Fantastic Four are all having a conversation about what side they're on, and Reed's like, well, we're all on this side, and then Sue and Johnny are like, I don't think I'm on your side on this one, Reed. I think I'm on the other side on this one. And just like, I just found it so cool and so fun to watch. It was such a great what if story, and I love a good what if story. This was a great one.
It was.
So I deeply enjoyed it.
I've noticed some more with the R-rated, and I use finger quotes when I say R-rated, animated movies they've been putting out. It almost seems like they add these completely out of left field blood moments just to get the R rating.
Yeah.
I mean, the flying through Joker is like, that had to happen. Like, that's a famous scene from the comic.
Yeah.
But all the rest of it, it's like, it just seemed out of place. Because the violence level was tame until a certain point. Yeah. And then all of a sudden something was like over the top, or Superman would have like blood on his knuckles or something. Yeah. But it just seemed out of place.
There was definitely like the ones that got me were, it wasn't as violent, but the death of Green Arrow was just one of those like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That's kind of fucked up.
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Especially when Harley's like, we gotta go back and get him. He has a hole in his head. That was absolutely killing me.
Oh my god. So there was that, but then like at the end when you have Amazo fighting Hawkman, and he's just beating the life out of Hawkman, and it's just like, whoa, this is hard to watch. Yeah. I did have a great moment with Kelly where I'm watching it, and Ra's al Ghul reveals the Amazo, and Superman looks up and he says, "Oh, robot." And I turn to Kelly and I'm just, "Oh, robot. A robot? He calls it a robot! A robot? Dude, sir.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see you doing that. It's amazing you're still married.
I would give it a solid A, honestly. Like, it wasn't perfect by any means, but I fully anticipate seeing it again.
Yeah.
In the near future, honestly. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I turn it on while I'm exercising or something.
And I'm right there with you with an A. I have to give it an A. You know, it's not quite an A plus.
No.
You know, once again, if there was a little more focus on the voice work. But the story was great. I thought the action was great. It was definitely, and I don't know if I'm just giving it such a high score also because it's compared to the other two, which I think I was being really generous with some of those scores. Mm-hmm. So I am interested in going back and rewatching this just to kind of get a different take on it.